Pages.
I volunteered him, so it's my question.
Did you want a microphone?
I just want to know if each of the candidates think that this village can sustain a CAO at $700 a day going forward.
From all three, or is there somebody you want to pose a question to?
No. No, I think one of the main roles of council is to ensure that we have the right people in the right positions and then get out of the way.
Thank you. This has been a fantastic year, and one where we brought in Mr. Grant McGrady as an interim CAO 3 days a week. Our administrative expenses are completely flatlined because of how we're doing things. Our interim CFO is 2 to 3 days a week. But we needed that level of skill, wisdom, and municipal ability to impregnate into our Lions Bay. And we've done that, and we will be making some additional changes where Mr. McGrady will take on more of a mentorship role, probably reducing down to a day a week. But it has been profound, effective. It is, we're coming in 13% under budget. It is effective, efficient, and it's happy. It's professional, it's committed, and there are high expectations, and they're being met. Looking at our Harvey Creek, you know, we have water, and we've got an outstanding staff. Our Nikki Hoagland, who is the manager of Public Works, is doing an outstanding job. And I know our water system like the back of my hand.
Time, please.
And, oh, thank you, that's time.
Yes, thank you. Lewis Stevenson. Is Lewis Stevenson here? Oh, Louise, I'm sorry. En français. Louis?
It's just a
Sorry.
first name, sorry.
I have my glasses on.
Interesting. Well, I didn't really think I'd get picked because I shouldn't really say anything because my wife is running as a councillor and she'll give me all hell when I get home. But anyway, I would like to ask all of the councillors, all of the mayors elect, that is, have you had a good look at the OCP and where do you see the weaknesses in it? What should be improved in the new OCP revision which is now due? Thank you.
We have an amazing OCP, and one of the things that I think may be a little contentious is the goal of moving from about 1,300 folks living here to about 1,800, and actually I think we revised it to about 2,200. But it's the homes that we need to look at, because if we're going from 512 homes to 700 homes, which is what the OCP, through a long process, developed. So I'd say that we probably need to look at that. But we need to look at it anyway. It's just such a beautiful document. It's about caring about Lions Bay, about our nature. It's a sensitive document. It acknowledges our love of nature. It acknowledges our difference. It acknowledges our governance, our interest in infrastructure. And believe me, I have an interest in infrastructure. Here we go.
I have a slightly different take. I find it confusing. I find it somewhat contradictory. There are things in there that contradict other things. If I was to read it for the first time and not knowing everything going around, I would say it was a good first attempt to try to be an inclusive community, to put a number of things in there that people are concerned about. I think it's a learning curve. I think the next one is going to be a lot better because you've learned from the past, and we know that there are other more pressing issues at hand, and ultimately what we have to put in the next OCP is accountable measurement. We have to prove to ourselves that we have to put our money where our mouth is in anything that goes into the OCP. Excuse me.
Here is the OCP. It's a few pages. That's not part of it. Yeah, it's a good start. Written by boilerplate by consultants, clearly. I can smell it. It doesn't really talk to Lions-based needs. It makes a lot of suppositions and assumptions. It's a good template. Now it needs to be written for Lions Bay.
Thank you. Peter Regglesworth?
I have a question of all the candidates, mayor to the candidates. Can you hear me? Lions Bay is about 530 homes, 1,600 or so people. We have about 200, maybe 240 people in the room today on what is really an important critical issue. What would each of you do to reach out and engage a much wider basis of our community so it's more representative? I think there are people that are apathetic, there are people that probably have judgments, but at some level we've got to engage a wider base of people in the community in making these decisions. It feels to me that we're out of whack in our representation of community to council. What would each of you do?
I'll start by saying you're allowed to laugh. Before the September 8th meeting, I sent out about 250 invitations to the community because I wanted as many households, this was in addition, this was on my own, to be there to represent their views. So I really agree with Peter's question. So what would I do? I think just really more and more engagement. It takes about 17 times to communicate one item for people to hear or understand it or know that it's important to them. So much more outreach. I think surveys get onto the internet. There's a woman out at UBC who's developed a municipal survey so that it's not that a person votes a zillion times, but if they do, they probably can, but you know who it is. So, and it's a confidential survey, but thank you very much.
I think you can't answer that question in 45 seconds. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I think it's an uphill battle. The way of culture in Canada these days is volunteerism is tougher and tougher for every type of organization, for every type of charity, for every type of municipality. I think ultimately what we all can do is just set the stage so that people can have the opportunity to participate in the community and volunteer for the needs that they think they can meet as an individual. I don't think you can drag a horse to water and make it drink. All you can do is set the stage to allow people to participate. What I would do, start from the top down. The mayor's job will become chief facilitation officer. There's going to be consensus building discussions under my reign, and there's going to be a lot more interaction with people. That's the only thing you can do.
So I'm going to speak fast. I think communication is one of our biggest challenges. There are 243 email addresses on the village's e-post list. That's not very representative. Solutions, Audex, where people get a call out if they are opting into level 1, 2, or 3 telephone alarms. Text is another one. I would engage a professional polling firm to knock on every door and talk to every adult resident of the village with fair, well thought through questions about everything that's important to us and matters to us. Then we're going to fight the battle with numbers and facts rather than guessing.
Question from Mr. Stone.
Is it short,
Right, I'm sorry, do we have your name correct?
Fiscal spending is a big issue. We don't require more money. We need to be spending our dollars more efficiently. The village of Lions Bay was tentatively awarded a grant from the provincial government of $440,000. The contract states that the village must comply with all the terms of the contract. The village has not complied with all the terms of the contract, particularly the construction of approximately 726 square feet of additional activity space. As a result, the village may be considered in default and therefore not receive officially $440,000. How are you going to deal with this matter of non-compliance?
Is that for Brenda? For everybody.
All three.
Thank you very much for that question. It's been a question that's been asked by Mr. Stone on a few occasions. And as a result of that, I picked up a phone and phoned our contact, personally of course, in Victoria, not only last week, but then contacted him again this week, assuming this question was coming up. So looking at that, both responses were the same, that the province gives their positive and support to the work that we've done at the community centre, and you heard the list. I think everybody's heart is a little bit broken that it doesn't have 626 square feet. But I think we have to also say when we discovered what wasn't there, rebar in the foundations, etc. So I want to say this is, of course, the province is going to be positive about that and has continued to be. And that's, oh, sorry, thank you.
Thank you, Cal. Okay. Yes, it's for all three.
It's a pregnant pause. I don't know how to respond to it. I don't know enough about the community center renewal project and all the stuff that's happened over the last 3 years to understand every issue at play. I don't have enough information to answer that question. Only when you get in office will be able to determine what happens. Sorry.
If any of us are mayor, we're going to have to deal with this question and other legacy issues as well. There are many more, I'm sure, hiding in the woodwork. It's something that we would deal with as they came up. I would hope that our liability insurance is in good order. Provisions need to be made. This is the village's liability, and if things were done in best of intentions wrongly, then we'll address it as it comes up.
Oh, hang on. There's one more. Thank you for hitting your marks. It makes possible a 10th question from Youth Silence.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thank you each for stepping up and running for mayor of Lions Bay, and I'd also hope to see all of the council members, mayor, and people here on Thursday, November 6th, when we host another all candidates meeting with the topic of sustainability for Lions Bay. My question is really about community spirit. Lions Bay is a wonderful community. Families, people of all ages, really value our events. They value the reason to move here for many people is because there's that wonderful community spirit, our beach. We love this place that we live. Mayor Rutten, we know your commitment, we've seen your commitment to village spirit in Lions Bay. So I'd like to hear from Don and Carl. Would you contribute to our events? How much time would you allocate to being part of our community?
Just to the two.
You know, the mayor has a responsibility to attend as many community events as possible, if nothing else to show that your political leadership cares. But I think it goes beyond that. I think it goes beyond liking people. First event I ever attended here was the Volunteer Firefighters Picnic. That's what it's called. We meet a lot of people. And I think it's the mayor's responsibility to do this, not just because it's part of the job, but because they like to do it. And that's part of it too. And I like to do that. So my time is open to do these things. It will be open.
I've been here 7 years. My kids have grown up here. I've been pretty involved. I think my blood is on the floor of this gym. if I was mayor, I would institute a municipal program director to facilitate and help residents, clubs, societies, groups to run before and after school programs under the auspices of the municipality, to do things like organize or at least catalyze block parties. Lions Bay is in a funk, and the spirit of Lions Bay is there. It just needs to be recatalyzed. I think the municipality has a big role to play in that. As mayor, hey, I'm out there anyway, pretty much all the time. I look forward to it.